All right, I'm on the phone with Sarah Gumbar, the women's lacrosse coach at Maine Maritime Academy. And Sarah, what the heck is going on with those women of yours? No goals last night against St. Joseph's College.
Yeah. Like I said, it's been our struggle kind of all season, and obviously still is. So it's just every day working away in practice. I thought overall, at the end of yesterday's game, it looked a lot better. We were seeing good opportunities, making some good passes that just weren't connecting. And I think eventually here we're going to have to get to the point where some of those things are going in and not hitting posts and things like that. But overall, the movement looked better yesterday, but they still have to find a way to finish the goals. So, it's what we're going to be working at here over the next couple of days and looking to come into this weekend and finally, hopefully, get those marks on the scoreboard.
Well, I'm looking at the box score, 2 shots on goal. You can't score when you only take 2 shots.
Exactly, and that's part of it is just, taking drives that aren't there, which cause a turnover with the charge, or, making good passes into the middle, but then, not catching them or not getting the shot off or getting the shot off wide. All of those things that, at the end we just didn't have enough time. We turn the ball over a lot when we get into the offensive zone before we even get the opportunity to take a shot, and so we've really been working at how you control the ball in the offensive zone and some of those things, and really working at hopefully getting some of these, women to learn to be attackers and get that frame of mind, and be okay with controlling the ball and placing it and protecting it and all of those sorts of things.
Is it better to, shoot from afar and just try and, maybe get that ricochet in, or, all of a sudden maybe have it come out, or what is happening, or what should be happening?
Yeah, well, that's the hard part about women's lacrosse. So you can't shoot from afar like you can in a men's game. It's illegal. So if there's anybody in between you and the net, you can't shoot. And if you do shoot at that point, you'll actually get a yellow card for a dangerous propel and be out of the game. So for us, that's the hard part. You have to get perfect openings. You have to get good looks. You have to get open. Every time you catch the ball, you can't just whip a shot like you can in the men's game. The women don't wear helmets and things like that. So there's a lot of rules against that. And so that's our biggest problem is just getting, when we have the ball, making sure we're getting into a place where we can take a good shot. And the last thing that I want them to do, and the last thing, that I'll push as a coach is to just whip shots, because, that's how people get hurt in the game. But so it's got to be, you have to get open. You have to make good cuts, make good passes, and things like that. Yesterday we had a couple times where we made good looks. We got into the 8, somebody stepped in front, and then we had to pull it back out. We're getting there now. We're starting to get those good looks and good chances. Now we just have to make sure we're in positions to, right when we catch the ball, get that shot off before, someone gets into shooting space and those sorts of things.
Having never played women's lacrosse. So, if you're in the defense, you could just basically clog up the center of the goal.
Which is exactly what they do, which is what you do kind of on the defense. So, yeah, once you crash in, it makes it really hard for that person to take a shot. So you can't just step in front of somebody who's looking to shoot if you're not close enough to them. That's also a foul. But overall, it's just when we get into the 8, they're going to crash in quick. So we have to be able to catch the ball and release it quickly, and that's what we're doing too slow right now. And with that being slow, they take away your ability to take a shot even. So, that's what we're working on. We're working on getting those catches and getting those quick releases. And that's just some of the stuff that we didn't have very many players who had experience in being on the attack and doing that. And it's kind of a slow and steady process to get the confidence in there. And so, I started to see it better yesterday, saw some great things from some great people of the confidence when they had the ball. Now it's just got to be perfecting it and making sure that, we're not making the little mistakes in the offense of turning over the ball for things that we just can't make at this point in the season.
Well, yeah, it's difficult, obviously. Here I've learned why it can't be done. And you now have very little time to work on it because you've got games on Saturday and Sunday. Saturday against Johnson State at home at 3:30, and then Sunday against Wheelock at 2:00 at home.
Yeah, Sunday we're at 3:30 as well.
Oh, okay. Changing the schedule.
Yeah, right. But yeah, we have been working on it. We're excited about this weekend. It's two good teams for us to play. I think we're evenly matched with them compared to a couple of our last games and the teams that we've been playing. We're excited about it. We got to come in. Overall, Johnson, has been working on the offense as well. And I know they haven't scored too many goals per game up until any point this season either. So overall, offensively, we're kind of in the same positions as the program is working on that offense, so it'll give us a good time to really work on it. I think we have a really good chance at both games this weekend. I think we're going to have to come out, and obviously we have to score, no question. I mean, that's been our biggest feat. But I think defensively, yesterday was a fantastic game, defensively and goaltending. We used both goalies. I think overall we handled that very well. St. Joe's is a great team, and we held them to better than a lot of teams have so far on goals against. But then again, we got to score. Like, we're never going to be competitive until we learn to do that. So that's what we're going to be going into this weekend. We have a really good chance to come away from this weekend with 2 wins, but we have to learn how to put the ball in the back of the net, or that will never happen. And so that's what we're working on. Tomorrow we'll be working on it a ton in practice. And so we're excited to come out this weekend, and hopefully, things start to finally click.
What's the mood of the team? I mean, now at 0-8, is the mood still upbeat, or how are the girls?
Yeah, I think overall, still. I mean, we know what we've had to work on, right. And they know that every day I ask for simple things. We have to get better on the things that we have before. And I think that, over the last probably 2 games, not yesterday, but the 2 games before that, we really sat down and talked about how I thought things didn't get better. We were making some of the same mistakes that we made in our first game of the season, and that can't happen. I think they had a little bit of a wake-up yesterday when we talked about we're halfway through the season now. I think the hard part for a lot of people who haven't, played women's lacrosse, or for our freshmen that have come in and haven't played it at the collegiate level, the season happens right before your eyes. I mean, we're halfway through, and we've only been playing since March 12th. So, it's a lot of games really quickly, and it kind of goes by quick, and they may think like, oh, we're going to get that next week. Well, next week we're already 3 games past again, So it's a really fast season, and it takes a lot out of you mentally to be able to come back and learn those things really quickly. And so I think now they're starting to think like, okay, we really can't keep making these mistakes. We can't think that we're going to get better next week because next week is too late. So it's a big weekend. They know that. I know that we have to come out of with a win against Johnson State if they think that they're going to, complete their goal of making playoffs. And so, it's not unreachable still. But if we can't pull this one off on Saturday, they're going to have to make a pretty big upset in order to make that happen. And so the beauty of athletics is anything can happen, but we have to come out Saturday and get this win. It's probably going to be our most important game of the season, no question.
All right. Well, 7 games left, all in the month of April. And, I mean, you're talking about, you mentioned how quickly the calendar flies. I mean, graduation's basically a month away.
Yeah. I mean, our last game of the season is April 25th, so less than 20 days and our season's over. So it's a quick turnaround. It's quick games, quick playing. It's hard to think. The amount of practices we have left is slim to none, so we have to, do a lot outside of practice time with watching film, things like that to get better. But overall, I think, I'm waiting for the moment it clicks, and hopefully we come out Saturday and get that win and you see it, just the moment that it all starts to make sense to them, that we really find our game and start going forward. And my hope is that happens this weekend. But, the season's winding down. It's getting, the team's pretty stressed right now, school-wise, now we're getting to the
exactly.
Yeah, exactly. We're getting to the the end of school, the important part of the season. It's all kind of coming together and all building up on them. And we have a really tough travel schedule this year, so we didn't get home till 1 a.m. last night. And girls were in class at 8 a.m. So it
snowed.
makes for some long days. But
yeah, I mean, you drove home in the snow.
Yeah, and we played in a blizzard pretty much. So, but overall they got their first taste of real lacrosse in the snow, a little bit of snowcross. So it's always fun to sometimes get those games in and try out something new. But overall, I think yesterday we came out of we worked on a lot of good things defensively. I think we're right there. Now we just got to go into Saturday and the offense has to improve the things that we've talked about since day one.
All right, Coach. Everybody take a deep breath and, look for a good outcome from this upcoming weekend.
All right. Thanks so much, Chris.
Have a great day.
Thanks, you too.
Okay.